Okay, let me start the session. So I'm Sunil Singh and dealing with you this. I'll be taking your session for the Linux administration. So I have about more than 9 years experience during this field. So I'll be taking this session, which will be roughly about 1 month. So exactly not 1 month. So as per our schedule, it may extend few days more also, like 30 to 34 days maximum. Okay. So shall I start the session? Okay, fine. So let me start the session. So first of all, what is Linux? What is Linux? Do you have any idea, anybody? So whoever knows anything about Linux, please write it in the chat box. So whenever I'm asking you anything, please don't unmute your mic. You just write your reply in the chat box. Okay, fine. Yes, it's an operating system. Yes. So now, why you want to do this course? Because your aim will be there. So before you do any course, your target will be there. Your aim will be there. Yes. Why you want to do this course, Linux administration course? What is your expectation? What you want to do after this course? Yes. Okay. So most of the people are looking for job. Okay. So once you are done with this job, sorry, once you are done with this course, you are expected to work like what? So once you do this course, Linux administration, you are expected to work like what? Any idea? Yes, Linux administrator. So this course will help you. Once you are done with this course, you will able to work like a system administrator. So system administrator means your job will be managing your network. So with the help of the operating system. So you might be aware now in the world, most of the servers are working on Linux. So if you are managing your network with the help of the Linux or Linux operating system, then your designation will be Linux administrator. So yes, so it is called as the system administrator, or you can call as Linux administrator. See, they are one and same because one of our friend Sonam is asking like system admin and Linux admin, whether it is same or different. So the answer is, see, there are different operating system. So if your servers are working on Windows platform and you are managing them. So which OS you are managing? Windows operating system. Then your designation will be Windows administrator. So whether your servers are on Windows, whether your servers are on Windows or Mac or Linux, based on that. So you can simply call as yourself as a system administrator. So whether you manage your network with the help of the Windows operating system or Linux operating system, your designation will be same, system administrator. If you want more specific, then it can be a Linux administrator or Windows administrator, depending upon which OS you are using to manage your network. So what about the role of an administrator? What is a administrator job is? So, so administrator means what? You have to manage your network. So how many types of networks we have? Yes, managing, controlling, monitoring. Those things will be the role of a administrator. Very nice. Yes, Satish Rao, you are absolutely right. So first we'll go to this. This course is about Linux administration. So once you are done with this course, you are expected to work like a Linux administrator, or you can call system administrator. There is one and same, both of them. So now, what will be the role of a system administrator? So administration means what? Managing. Managing what? Network. So how many types of networks you have? Yes, do you have any idea about how many types of networks we have? Yes, if you know, just write it in. If your answer is right or wrong, that is not a problem, but be interactive. So how many types of networks we have? Like one, two, three. Okay, okay, fine. Satish Rao has written. What about the others? Okay, okay, okay. Our Raj is also has written. So network, how many types of network is there? So basically, first of all, network means what? Yes, I'll come to the subject. I'm just checking how many of you are aware about this, because these are the terms we should be aware before we proceed to our course. So what is meant by network? Yes, what is meant by network? Yes, any idea, anyone? Because we use this word very often. No, network. So what is meant by network? Yes, so you can say, yes, you can say simple word, collection of your devices. So collection of devices, or you can say interconnection of the devices. The better and appropriate simple word is interconnection of the devices is called as network. Interconnection of the devices is called as network. So when you work on any company, you will have what? The devices. The devices means what? Systems. So how many systems you will have? One machines or many machines? When you will have one machine or many machines? Devices means only one machine we have to manage in the company. Machine means our computer. So there will be only one machine you have to manage? No, you have to manage many machines. All. So the difference between the user and the administrator is user will be working on a single machine. He will be sitting on single machine and he will be doing this work. But it is whose job to manage all the users, all the computer? Administrator. Administrator means administration means managing your network. In the network, what will be there? Users and computers. So computers is called by different name like systems, machines. So whenever a person uses the name devices, systems, or computer or machine, they are using the terminology different, but the meaning is same. Systems, the computer. Okay, so many computers will be there, so we need to manage many computer. Who can do this? Administrator. So whenever you do any course, the networking course, so here you don't have to worry about the programming languages. So this course can be done by any person from any background. So the course is designed. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so you can see in the chat box some message was there related with the amount. Okay, so I'll just go through the first. So now I'm just giving you the basic idea. So when administrator is there means he has to manage the network. So network means what? There will be one machine or many machines will be there. Many machines will be there. So how do you define a network? Interconnection of devices. So first of all, in a simple word, what is mean by network? So suppose I'm having some machines here. So whenever you work as any administrator, Linux, Windows, Mac, any administrator, you will have many machines. So here, these machines are there, computers are there, many, like this I have done. So now you tell me whether these machines, like example, some machines are there, system 2, system 3, like there, 100 machines are there in the computer, in the company. Now you have to manage this. So who can do this? Administrator job. So here, managing these systems or devices on these machines who will be sitting users. So our job as an administrator is managing the users and computer. So by sitting from one machine as an administrator, you will manage. So now, so you will be sitting as an administrator on this machine. So from this machine as an administrator, you will not go to the user machine. So you will manage all these machines. So first you have to understand. So just a minute, I am getting a call. 1 minute. Just a moment. क्या number है? I'm getting a call. Okay, sorry for the disturbance. Uh, okay, let me continue. So now network means, now you tell me, these machines are in the network or it is not in the network? Yes, I have these machines, 100 machines. So network means interconnection of devices. So whether these machines are in network, whether these machines are in the network, yes or no? You tell me. Is it in the network? Tell me yes or no. I'm not getting any reply. Yes, the machine is not in the network because they have been not connected. So how the machines will be connected? So network means what? Interconnection of devices. So we have to have what? The switch. Switch will be there. So every machine will have the LAN card. So this connection will be done physically by the desktop persons. So as an administrator, you don't have to bother. And the cabling person will connect all this on your the cable, every cabin, behind the cable, sorry, behind the cabin, the cables will be going and it will be connected to the switch. So all this is called physical connectivity. So this is called physical connectivity. So all these machines will be connected to the switch. So now they are in the network. So interconnection of devices is called as network. So can they able to communicate with each other? No. So on that IP address should be given. So each and every machine, who can assign the IP address? Administrator. So administrator can configure here one server on this machine called DSCP. Through this, the IP will be assigned. So like this, we can control and manage all these users by sitting from our place as an administrator. We don't have to go this. So this is what called administrator. So as an administrator, we will be managing and controlling all these users. So now coming to this Linux course, Linux administrator course. So once you are done with this course, you are expected to work like a system administrator. So this course is designed in a such a way that any person from any background can able to do this course. You don't have to much bother about any coding or the programming, and you can understand this. Huh. So this course is designed in a such a way that it is more than 1 month course, roughly 30 to 32 days. So once you are done with this course, you can easily work, or you can easily claim the experience up to 2 to 3 years. So this course for fresher, it is very, very important. But even the persons who are having the gap, even if you are having a gap after suppose 2 to 3 years, that you can easily cover with this course. So much depth we will be discussing these topics. So this course will help you to cover the gap even up to 2 to 3 years. Okay. And this is a foundation course for any higher courses, the courses related with the cloud. So whether you are working like a on the cloud, as you want to do the course of AWS or the Azure, this is the foundation course. So without that, you cannot understand them. Okay. So now coming to this course. So this course is about Linux administration. So once you are done with this course, you will be expected to work like a Linux administrator or system administrator. Both are same. Yes, the classes timing will be from 9. It is 1 hour session. So 9 to 10. Yes. So every day your session will be there along with the practicals. Okay. So now let me continue with what is Linux. So like you have said quite correctly, Linux is an operating system. So operating system means what? Now suppose you have purchased one new laptop or the desktop. Can you use that machine without OS? Can you use the machine without OS? Tell me, can we use the machine without OS? No, we can't use it. Why? Why we can't use it? So these are the machine in which there is no OS. Can I able to use this machine? No. Why? So how do you define the operating system? So operating system is a collection of program which acts like a interface between the user and the machine. So without operating system, there is no interface, so we cannot communicate. So if you want to understand in a simple way, you can take this example. Suppose I know Hindi, you know Telugu. Can we communicate? I know Hindi language, you know Telugu language. Can we communicate? We can't communicate. Then what is the alternative? What is the alternative? So I know Hindi language, you know Telugu language. So can we communicate? No. Then what is the communicate? What is the alternative? Yes, the alternative is we should know some common language. So suppose we don't know the common language. You don't know other than Telugu, I don't know other than Hindi. So we need one third person, mediator, who understand your language and my language. That is called translator or mediator. So same way, machine understand which language? Machine understand which language? Machine means I'm talking about computer. When I say computer or system or machine, they are one and same. Yes, the machine understand only binary language. Machine understand only binary language. So as a human being, we understand which language? As a human being, we understand which language? High level language, human readable language. So can we able to communicate with a machine with a human readable language or high level language? No, machine does not understand. Machine does not understand other than the binary language. And whether as a human being we understand binary language, whether as a human being we understand binary language, zeros and ones? No. So it is same like you know Hindi, sorry, you know Telugu, I know Hindi. So can we communicate? No. So we need one mediator, one translator, one third person. So who is that third person? Who is that mediator? Yes, it is the, yes, who is the translator or mediator? Who is the translator or mediator? Operating system. So operating system is an interface between the user and the machine. So without that, can we use the machine? No, we can't use. Why? Machine understand binary language, and as a human being, we understand high level language. So that is the reason. That is the reason whenever we are using any machine first and foremost thing in that machine, what should be there? Some operating system will be there. So most of the computer in the world, they are running on which operating system? Most widely used operating system. So operating system is a collection of programs. So operating system is a logical thing or physical thing? It is a logical thing. Every operating system or any operating system is a collection of program. So that collection of program acts like an interface between the user and the machine. So once you install some OS, then you can interact with the machine and you can able to use it. Understood the importance of operating system? Are you following, everyone? Please reply yes, no, something. Okay, fine. So now most of the people in the world are using which operating system? Yes, most of the people in the world are using which operating system according to you? Please write your reply, whatever may be the answer. Most of the people in the world are using Windows. So most widely used operating system in the world is Windows. Why people are using Windows, especially the home purpose? Because it is easy to operate and it is having graphical mode. So it is easy to operate. So most widely used operating system in the world, not only in India, in world, is Windows. So in Windows, how many types of OS we have? In Windows, we have how many types of OS? Two types of OS. What are they? Client operating system and server operating system. So the client operating system, example like Windows 7, 8, 10, now 11 is also there. And what about the server operating system in Windows 2012? Before that 2008, then came after 12, 16. In which year they are releasing their server OS? That name they are giving. So which will have more features? If you compare the client OS and server OS, which will have more features? Server OS or client OS? Which operating system will have more features? Client OS or server OS? Yes, please reply. Write it in the chat box. According to you, server OS will have more features or client OS? No, client OS will have less features. Client OS has been designed to use the services. So administrator will be generally sitting on server OS or client OS. So if you want to manage all the machine, so can you manage the users and computer through client OS? No. So which OS will have the more features? Client OS is just to use the services, access the services. But who will provide the services? Server. So server means which provides services. So servers can be configured on which operating system? Servers can be configured on which operating system? Server operating system. So by using the client operating system, you cannot configure the servers. You cannot manage your network. So if you want to manage your network as an administrator, you have to use which operating system? Client operating system or server operating system? Now tell me. Yes, I'm waiting for a reply. If you are understanding, please tell me. So if you want to work like a administrator, you have to sit on the machine on which server OS will be there or client OS. Yes, server OS. By using client OS, you cannot manage. So on the server OS, you have to log in as an administrator and manage all the computers and users. So as an administrator, we will be sitting on the machine on which server OS will be installed, not the client OS. And you have to log in as an administrator to manage all the users and computer. So are you understanding what is the role or work of the administrator? Are you getting some idea now? So now we are going to discuss this course through the Windows operating system or Linux. Linux operating system. So our focus will be on Linux. So why we should learn the Linux now? Or why we should learn? Because most of the people in the world are using Windows. Then why we should learn the Linux? Because most of the clients prefer to use which operating system? Windows OS. But most of the servers in the world, they are working on which operating system? Most of the servers in the world are working on which operating system? Linux. Yes, this is a fact. Most of the servers in the world are working on the Linux operating system. So that is the reason, if you want to work like a administrator, system administrator, you should be aware about the Linux operating system. So this is the course which will help you to work like a Linux administrator. So with the help of the Linux administrator, you will be sitting on the Linux server, Linux operating system, and you will be managing your servers. You will be configuring the servers. No, it is not easy to manage. It is good security. So why the people are the companies are using the Linux? Because the Linux operating system is having good security and it is more stable and it is have less downtime. That is the reason, more secure. You can say in simple word, Linux operating system is more secure, more having better security. Yes. So that is the reason most of the servers in the world are working on servers. The most of the servers in the company in the world and most of the company servers in the world are using the Linux operating system. So that is the reason we should be knowing about the Linux. So once you are done this course, you will be able to configure the servers also and able to manage and control your network with the Linux operating system, because most of the servers are working on Linux platform. So you can able to manage your servers and manage your users and computer with the help of the Linux operating system. So now we will focus on Windows OS or Linux OS? Linux OS. So what is Linux? As you said, it is an operating system. But which type of operating system? Any idea? Linux is which type of operating system? Yes, Linux is operating system, right? But it is which type of operating system? Open source. Yes. What is meant by open source? What is meant by open source? Yes, any idea? Anybody? Open source means what? Yes, if somebody asks you what is Linux, in one word your answer should be Linux is an open source operating system. Open source means no, not widely used. Open source means every operating system consists of what? Every operating system consists of what? Operating system is what? It is a collection of program. So whoever developed the operating system, Windows operating system is designed and developed by Bill Gates through the Microsoft company. So to design the Windows operating system, the Bill Gates has written what? Some program, some coding that is called source code. Technically, it is called source code. So can we see the source code of the Windows operating system? No. But the Linux operating system is been designed by, most of the people are aware about the Windows, but not about the Linux. So who designed the Linux operating system? Any idea? So Linux operating system is designed, or Linux operating system is designed by Linus Torvald. What is the name of the person who designed the Linux operating system? His name is, Linux operating system is designed by a person whose name is Linus. His name is Linus Torvald. He is from Finland country. He is also there because like Bill Gates, at very young age he designed the Windows operating system. So same way this Linus operating system, Linus Torvald designed which operating system? Linux operating system. He's from the Finland country. So Linux operating system is designed by Linus Torvald. In 1991, he designed this. Windows came in 1984. Okay. So now let's come to this. So Linux is an open source. Open source means what? The source code of the Linux operating system. The source code means the whatever coding or the program is written to design the operating system by the developer generally will be not shown to the others. So like the Bill Gates or the Mac OS, whoever design any OS, so their OS source code we cannot see. The source code of the any operating system, the coding or the program they have written by the developer to design that OS will be not seen by, or it will be not able to see it by others, or as a person we cannot see the source code of any operating system. But this person, Linus Torvald, who designed this Linux operating system, so whatever coding or the program he has written to design this Linux operating system, he put it over the internet. So Linus Torvald, who designed the Linux operating system, so to design the Linux operating system, whatever coding or the program he has written, that complete coding and program, he put it over the internet, which anybody can access and modify. So that is it. That is why Linux is called as open source. So if anybody asks you what is meant by open source means, you should say open source means the source code of the Linux operating system, the source code of the Linux operating system, which is designed by the Linus Torvald, is freely available over the internet, which anybody can access. Not only we can access, but we can modify that. That cannot be done in any other OS. So how the Linux is different compared to the other OS? Linux is an open source operating system. Open source means the source code of the Linux operating system is freely available over the internet, which anybody can access and can modify. Because of that, we have so many flavors in Linux, which is not there in any other OS. So some of the flavors, have you heard about any name? Have you heard about any one of the Linux flavor? I'm just hiding this slide. Now, can you tell me? Are you aware about any one of the flavors of Linux? Yes, CentOS is there, Red Hat is there. Very nice. Any other name? Yes, Ubuntu. Now, most of the people are using Ubuntu for their home purpose. Yes, very nice. So why these are all different flavors of Linux designed by different companies. So how it is possible or why it is possible? Because Linux is an open source operating system. Open source means the source code of the Linux operating system, which is designed by Linus Torvald, is freely available over the internet, which anybody can access and modify. So we have to take the Linux kernel, which is designed by Linus Torvald, and add some features. Then we can have our own OS with our own name, with our own logo. So please remember, Linux is been designed using the Unix. What is Unix? Unix is an operating system which was completely based on command mode. Whereas the Windows OS is designed using the DOS. Windows operating system has been designed using the DOS. Whereas the Linux operating system has been designed using the Unix. So Unix disadvantage, Unix advantage is good security. Unix disadvantage, Unix is called hardware dependent OS, means in Unix we have some flavors like Solaris. So to install the Solaris, it will support only, the Solaris can be installed only on the Sun machine. The IBM designed their own Unix with what name? AIX. So AIX can be installed only on IBM machine. And the HP designed their own OS with the name HPUX, Unix, which can be installed on HP machines only. So if you are changing the OS in Unix, you have to change the complete hardware, which is a very expensive affair. That is the reason now nobody is using the Unix. So in place of Unix, we are using now what? Linux, because Linux is having graphical interface like Windows, as well as it is a Linux is a hardware independent OS, means if you have Dell laptop, or if you have the assembled machine, or if you have the HP machine, or if you have the Lenovo machine, on any machine we can install the Windows OS. Same way, on any hardware machine we can install the Linux, which doesn't require any specific hardware which was required in the Unix. Like to install the Solaris, you can install Solaris only on Sun machine. Suppose you are having IBM machine, can you install the HPUX? No, for that you have to purchase the HP machine. So this is the difference between Unix and Linux. So Linux has been designed using the Unix. Who designed the Linux? Linus Torvald from Finland country. And Windows is designed by Bill Gates using DOS. So Windows is developed from DOS. Linux is developed from Unix. Are you understanding me? Whether I'm clear to everybody? If you are getting any point, any confusion, please tell me or write it in the chat box. So till now, are you able to following me? Are you following me? Please reply. Okay, thanks for your confirmation. Fine. So in Linux, we have so many flavors. Why it is so many flavor possible? Because of the open source. Except Linux, there is no other OS which is open source. Open source means the source code of the Linux operating system is freely available. I'm repeating multiple times because this is very important point. So Linux operating system, like any other operating system, is a collection of program. So that collection of program which is written by the Linus Torvald is freely available over the internet. See, yes, our friend is asking us, Malika Arjun. So every day your recording sessions will be there. Yes, recording will be sent. So demo session. So this is actually demo session means actually today only our session is getting started. So it is not only demo session, the session is also going on. So for few days you can access, but after some days, the people who have made the payment, they only will be listening to these sessions. And every day recording will be done and recording will be sent to you. Even the demo recording sessions will be sent to you. So what is the benefit or advantage with these online sessions? You will be getting the recordings. So you can play that recording any number of time. If you are attending the offline session, you can listen to the session only once. So in between your mind got diverted, you are thinking some or that, and that point is gone means gone. But here you can just play the recording and you can listen to that point any number of time. And apart from that, I'll be giving you one soft copy of the practical step from first day to last day. Using that you can do all the practicals very easily. And whatever material I'm having, like this file, I'll be also giving you this file. So once you have made the payment, I'll be sending you my practical step file. In that all the practical steps are there from first day to last day. Along with that, whatever theory point I'm having along this in this material, whatever theory I'm discussing, that points, whatever I have written, that also I'll be sending to you. Okay, so please give me some minutes, Sonam. I'll show you what are the total content which we are going to cover through this course. Yes, because you should be knowing. Then after that, you take your decision. You want to continue with these sessions or not. Okay, I'll show you that what are the topics we are going to cover. Okay, so first let me finish this. Then after that, I'll come to that point. What are the content which we are going to discuss through this course? So in Linux, there are so many flavors like Red Hat, Ubuntu, Kali Linux, SUSE, Debian, Turbo. This is only few of the names. Like this, so many names are there. CentOS. So out of why this is possible? Why this is possible? Because Linux is an open source. So I told you so many times today. Open source means the source code of the Linux operating system is freely available, which anybody can access from the internet. It has been put over the internet by the Linus Torvald. So anybody can access, and you can add some features to that. So whatever coding and program he has written, Linux kernel over the internet, you can take that, but compulsory you have to add some features. You have to add some features to that. Then you can have your own OS with your own name, with your own logo. So that's why different companies have their different flavors or different distributors, different company are using. These are all the names of the Linux operating system. So all this Linux operating system has been designed. All this Linux operating system has been designed using what? The source code of the Linus Torvald Linux kernel. So all this, so whatever Linux operating system are there, they have been designed using the source code which has been designed or developed by the Linus Torvald. So we can take the source code, we can add some features. Then it is with, you can have your own name with your own logo. So different companies, these are the different companies. They have taken the source code of the Linus Torvald Linux kernel. So why they are different flavors means, say suppose example, different companies are there. You have cars, so the car been manufactured by different vendors. Yes. So can you say to some person you don't manufacture the car? Like Tata is there, Maruti is there, Ben is there. So many companies are there. So they are manufacturing their cars. So Linux is what for open source. Open source means anybody should not have the restriction. Whatever you want to do, you can do it, and it should be free of cost. So the Linux source code, that person Linus Torvald, he kept it over the internet. So using that, you can design your own Linux. I can design my own OS. Other person can design using that source code. You add the features. You add your own features. Did you understand? Did you understood, Satish? Okay. So now different companies, they have taken the source code. Same source code will be there. They are add some features. You will add some features. I'll add some other features. Like take the best example is car. So different companies have different models of car. The purpose is same. So same way, these are these Linux OS. These are all Linux OS. So as a person, can you learn all the flavors of Linux? Can you learn all the flavors of Linux? Tell me yes or no. The answer is no. Your complete life will be over because it keeps on coming. So if you are good in one flavor, you can work on any other flavor because the architecture, the structure, everything will be same in all the flavors of Linux. Because the basic foundation is Linux kernel. They all will uses the Linux kernel only. So if you know the driving of one car, can you drive the other car also? Yes, it will take some 2-3 hours just to understand the features. So every car will have certain, the basic thing remains same, but some certain features. So in every Linux flavor, the foundation, the architecture, the structure will be same. Only some person will add some this feature, some other features. So if you are good with one flavor, you can work on any other flavor. Nobody can learn all the flavor. So in one flavor, if there is some command, so that command might be same, or in other flavor, sometimes that command might be different. So how the people are surviving? So if you know for particular task, one particular command in one flavor, but you are working on other flavor, you just Google it, equivalent command of so and so for so and so flavor. You will get it, you will type it, immediate answer. So that's how the people are surviving. So our focus will be on Red Hat because most of the servers in the companies are working on Red Hat. So we are going to discuss this course RHEL 7 through CentOS 7 because for RHEL they are charging for giving the support, but we are using this OS for training purpose. So exact feature whatever is there in Red Hat will be there in CentOS from installation to command. So we are going to discuss this course RHEL 7 through CentOS 7. So now coming to the topics which we are going to cover through this Linux, because before I complete the today's session, you should be getting the idea what are the things we are going to discuss. So these are the topics we are going to cover through this Linux administration course, which is about roughly 1 month. So it may extend to 30 to 34 days maximum. So here, this Linux administration course is divided into two parts, standalone administration and network administration course. So all of you please pay the attention. So standalone means you will be working through the all controlling and managing all the users computer will be done through this. So in the network administration part, you will be discussing how to configure as an administrator the server. In a standalone path, you will be discussing from basics like what is Linux, how to install the Linux, all those things you will be discussing in standalone part. So first we will see standalone part. What are the things we are going to discuss? So first we will be discussing about installation. So directly I'll not go to the installation. So first we will be learning about introduction of Linux. So already I given you some introduction. Still some we will discuss tomorrow. What is Linux? introduction of Linux, then the installation of Linux, then the basic commands. So first few days we'll be discussing the architecture also before you install the Linux, the structure of the Linux OS, which is called FHS, File System Hierarchy Standard. Without knowing that structure, you cannot understand the Linux. So here I've written directly the installation, but before the installation of the OS for 2 to 3 days, we'll be discussing about what is Linux, what are the features in Linux, what is the structure of the Linux operating system, why the Linux is more secure compared to the Windows. So that is the reason most of the servers are working on Linux. So once we are knowing that, we will proceed with the installation of Linux OS, how to install it, and the basic commands. So from first day to last day, I have made one file, Linux practical step file. So that I'll be sending you once I got the list people of the who are joined for this course. Along with that, this material which I have written topic wise. So whatever content are there, I'll be sending you I will be sharing with you. Okay. So first we'll be discussing what all the basic things about Linux. Once we are familiar with the basic things and its structure, we will install the OS. Then we will start the basic commands. So how to open the terminal, how to create the file, how to check your directory. So any person, if you don't know also, he can work. And a person who is already having the gap, he knows the already something about the Linux, he slowly will go to the higher topic and the depth of the subject will increases. So once you are done with this course, you can easily cover 2 to 3 years experience. Those people who are having gap also you can. So in the basic commands, we'll be discussing from basics like what is PWD, how we can change the directory using CD, how we can create the files directory, how to create the file using cat, touch, and how to modify the file with VEditor. Then we will be discussing how to create directory, how to copy them, how to rename the files in directory, how to delete them. So this will be discussing basic commands. Then we'll be discussing how to manage your hard disk. So to manage your hard disk, we'll be creating partition. So how to create the partitions, that will be discussed. Then in every interview, this question will be there, booting process. So once you switch on your machine, you will not get immediate login. It will take few seconds. Then the login screen will appear. So in the background, what happens? The loading of the OS will take place. So that is called booting process. So what exactly happens in the background? So that will be discussed in one full day session. We'll be discussing about the booting process. And then we will be going to the different run levels of the Linux. Like we have run levels, run level init 0 to go to run level 1, run level 1, 2, 3, 4. Like these 7 run levels are there, 0 to 6 run level. Then we'll be discussing user administration, how to manage the users. So we should also be discussing in that. First, before you manage the user, you have to know how to create a user. So who can create the user? Only administrator. So we'll be discussing how to create a user, how to assign the password, how to log in with different methods, how to change the fields to manage the user as per the company requirement. So this will be discussed in user administration. Then after that, we will be discussing what is group, how to create the group, because whenever you are want to give same permission to multiple users, whenever you want to give same permission to multiple user, you will create a group. Like in the WhatsApp, when you need to send same message to multiple people, you will create group. So same way, when you need to give same permission to multiple user, we'll creating the group. How to add group, how to add the users into the group, how to make group admin, how to change the fields. So that will be discussed in group administration. Then if some user is wasting the space, we can allocate some limited or restricted space to the user. So that will be discussed in disk quotas. Then as an administrator, we need to control the users. So how we will be controlling them users? And we need to protect the company data. So how we will be doing that? By using the permissions. So we will be discussing 3 types of permission policies by which we can protect the company data as well as allow the sharing of the data. So we will be discussing basic file permission, access control list, and advanced file permission. Like advanced file permission, three types of advanced file permission we are going to discuss. Set FSCL, this set UID, set GUID, and the sticky bit in advanced file permission. Then to improve the system performance, we will be discussing the swap management. It is a logical memory. Through that, we can improve the system performance. Then as an administrator, you need to know what are the tasks been running, who are running that task. So you have to monitor what is been going on. So that we will be discussing with the help of the process management. So what are the things running in our servers, or what are the things going on in our network? We can monitor them with the help of the process management commands. Like we are going to discuss two commands. Under the process management, we are going to discuss two commands. Most widely used command for monitoring purpose, that is stop command, and PS, process status. Process management. So whatever the task we are doing, like in Windows, task manager is there. So similar to that in Linux, we have a top command and PS command, process status. These two commands we'll be discussing in process management. Then we will be discussing how to install the application in Red Hat using RPM and yum command. So before you start the configuration of servers, you should know how to install the application. So we'll be discussing that. Package means collection of application. Then on the hard disk, if you want to combine the multiple hard disk or multiple partition, we have a mechanism called LVM, very important concept. Logical volume manager, through which we can combine the multiple hard disk or multiple partition into a single space, through which we can do the resizing. So that will be discussed in LVM. Then to protect the data, even if the hard disk get failed, we will be applying red level, like red level 0, 1, 5. That will be discussed in red level. To protect the data, even if the hard disk get failed, the data should not be lost. So for that, we will be copying the data not in single hard disk, in multiple hard disk by using the red level 0, 1, 4, not 4, 0, 1, 5. We will be discussing which level is best. Red level 5. So software red we will be discussing, not red hardware red. No institute is teaching you hardware red, because as an administrator we should know how to configure. So that we will be discussing how to configure the red level 5. Then our job is never done if you don't know how to take the backup, because the most important job of an administrator, all jobs are important, but the most important job is, as an administrator, you need to make sure that the company data is never lost. So to prevent the company data from getting lost, what we have to do as an administrator, we need to take the backup. So how to take the backup? If our original data get lost due to any reason, how we can restore it from backup? So we'll be discussing backup and restore by using tar command, dump command. So these are the important commands through which we can take the backup, tar and dump command. So this we are going to discuss in backup. And we will be also discussing auto scheduling of jobs, like using the AT, cron tab, how we can schedule our job using the AT and cron tab. So scheduling, automation of the jobs will be discussed. So this is the complete, what are the things we are going to discuss in standalone path. Then the last part of our course will be network administration. In that, we are going to discuss how to configure the servers. So before you configure the servers, you should know how to assign the IP address, how to set the name to your system, how to give the name to your machine. So that will be done with the configuration of Linux operating system network. Then we will be discussing how to take the remote desktop using the telnet and SSH, how to copy the data from one machine to another by using SCP, then how to share the data. So we are going to discuss three important work of administrator is to share the data among the employees. So for that, we have three important servers in Linux: FTP, NFS, and Samba for sharing purpose. All three we are going to discuss. How to configure FTP, NFS, and Samba, through which the data will be shared. So what is the difference? NFS will allow the sharing of files and directory between Linux to Linux, but FTP will allow the sharing of files but not directory from Linux to other OS like Windows. But Samba server is used to allow the sharing of files and directory from Linux to other OS like Windows or Windows to Linux. So all these three we will be discussing, very important servers. Then we'll be also discussing how to configure DNS server through which we can access the machines by name, like website which access by name with the help of DNS. So how to configure DNS we'll be discussing so that we can access the website and our machine by name instead of IP address, which is not easy to remember IP. Then we will be discussing how to host the website. If you are an administrator, you should know how to host the website. So most commonly used web server in the world to host the website is Apache. So we will be discussing how to host the website using Apache web server, how to configure it. And we will be discussing how to assign the IP address to our client dynamically. Dynamically means automatically. So automatically never happens automatically. For that, you have to configure which server, DHCP server. So we'll be discussing how to configure the DHCP server. So once you do that, all the client machines will be getting the IP address dynamically. So without these basic servers, no company will be working. So as an administrator, you should know how to take the remote desktop and how to allow the users to share the data by using these three, and how the machines will be accessed by the users with name for DNS, how to host the website, and no company will be there without DHCP server. So all this total content which we are going to cover through this Linux administration course, which is roughly about 30 to 32 days. Sometime it may take 34 days. So I hope you understood what are the content or topics which we are going to cover through this Linux administration course. Okay, so that's it for today. So now those people who have any doubt, any questions, you can ask. So tomorrow also, this is not a demo class. The course is today only started. So tomorrow we will discuss the why the Linux is different compared to other, and why the servers are being used only on Linux, or most of the servers why companies are using in Linux. So that we will discuss tomorrow in tomorrow's session, and also the structure. See, whatever things you are going to discuss, we are going to discuss in depth. So in the interview, you have thousands of questions on the Google. So you can just type it, but same questions will come? No. So the questions will be asked in the company based on what you put in the resume. So what are the things you know? You have to put in the resume. So whatever things you are putting on the resume, from that only they will ask. So once you are good with the subject, once you are good with the subject, you can able to answer the questions, interview questions. So those people who says, I'll give the interview questions, so those questions only will come? No, never it will come. Only few questions will come. So you should know the subject. Once you know the subject, automatically you can able to tackle the interviews. Okay. So the important thing, you should get the good subject. Once you get the good subject, automatically you can able to handle the interviews. Did you able to understood me, Sonam? I don't want to give the false promises. So nobody can give guarantee that this question will come. All when you they will ask from the questions will be asked from the, yes, questions will be asked from the whatever you mentioned, and nobody will give the 100% answers in the interview. And some questions for just to understand, you can just go through the Google. Nowadays no need to ask, you just go through the Google, so many questions will be there. So same questions maybe not asked, but you will get some idea. So based on that, whatever subject you are getting, once you are good with the subject, definitely, you believe me, you can able to handle the interviews. You can able to crack the interviews. If for that, your subject should be good. Okay. So those people who have any doubt, any queries, please, you can unmute your mics. Now you can ask. Yes. Now you can unmute your mics, because the today's class is completed. So tomorrow we will continue with the features of the Linux OS, as well as before we install, we should know the structure also. So why Linux is more superior, or why more it's secure, we'll be discussing tomorrow. Yes, please go ahead with any your questions or doubt. If you have any, yes, please ask me. Yes, if there is any questions or any doubt, please ask. So today's session you have understood. So do you have any questions or doubt related with anything? You please ask me. Or if it is clear means, if you want, I can wind up the session. Is it clear to everybody, or do you have any questions? No question from your end, so no, okay. Anybody else, any question? Or can I close this session? Yes, please tell me. Any questions, any doubt, or can I close this session?
So tomorrow also same time, sir.
Same time. So few people are joining now. So like maximum I can start by 9, 5, 9, 10 like that. You have to wait. Few people might be joining tomorrow also. So 9, 5, 9, 10
Are you sending
maximum.
today class?
Recording will be sent to you. Or it will be there on our YouTube channel. So first day recording, our demo session first few days will be available even on our YouTube channel. From there also you can see. Okay, is there any other question or doubt, anyone? Or can I close the session? Okay, so please tell me, can I close the session? Are any questions or any doubt? Okay, I'm closing the session. Thank you everybody. See you tomorrow.